Before I start, I just want to make one thing clear. I've had dogs my whole life. I know how they act when they're sick, when they're scared, when they're just being weird. But what happened to my dog, Milo? It's not something I can explain. Milo's been with me for almost 7 years. He's a Labrador, the classic golden coat, floppy ears, that stupid happy grin every time he sees me. He was the kind of dog who'd greet the mailman like a long-lost friend, the kind who'd roll onto his back for belly rubs from complete strangers. Our routine was the same every day. Morning walks around the block before work. A little playtime in the yard when I got home. At night, he'd curl up in the corner of my bedroom, right next to my bed, and I'd hear his steady breathing until I fell asleep. We were a team. And I thought I knew him better than anyone. It was January when things changed. Cold nights. Long, dark evenings. The first time I noticed something off, it was about 2 in the morning. I'd gotten up for a glass of water and found Milo standing in the hallway. He wasn't sleeping, wasn't sniffing around, just standing there. His body was completely still, except for the slow movement of his chest. His eyes were locked on one spot, the far end of the hallway, at the wall. A wall that backed directly onto my bedroom. I called his name softly. Nothing. Not even an ear twitch. I stepped into the hallway and the floorboards creaked. That's when he turned? Not his head, not his body. Just his eyes. And they weren't looking at me. They were looking past me. I turned around, but the hallway behind me was empty. A few nights later, I woke up to scratching. It wasn't fast or frantic, it was slow, deliberate. Scratch. Pause. Scratch. Pause. The sound was coming from Milo's crate. I keep it in the corner of my bedroom, door open so he can come and go. When I turned on the lamp, I saw him sitting inside, perfectly still, paw pressed against the metal bars. Dragging his nails up and down. His eyes were fixed over my shoulder again. I whispered, "Milo?" No reaction. I turned, and of course, there was nothing behind me. But for the first time, I felt it, that prickling sensation at the back of my neck. The feeling you get when you know you're being watched. Over the next couple of weeks, things got stranger. He started refusing to eat unless I hand-fed him. He'd stand in front of the bathroom door and whimper until I opened it, but then just walk away like nothing had happened. And then, there was the smell. At first, it was faint, a metallic, almost bloody scent. I bathed him, changed his bedding, deep cleaned the crate. But it kept coming back. And every week, it got worse. Stronger. Rotting. I took him to the vet. They checked his ears, teeth, stomach, ran blood work. Everything came back normal. The vet even laughed and said, "Maybe he's seeing ghosts." I laughed back, but something about the way Milo sat there in the exam room, not wagging his tail, not looking at me. It made my skin crawl. That night, I set up a small security camera in the hallway. I told myself it was just to catch him in the act, see what he was staring at. But I think deep down, I already knew I didn't want to see it. The first few nights, nothing. He'd wander a bit, then sleep in his usual spot. But on the 4th night, around 3:17 a.m., Milo walked into the hallway and just stood there. For over 2 hours, he didn't move. Not a twitch. Then, without warning, he tilted his head back, and his mouth started moving. No barking. No growling. Just silent words. The next night, I left the camera running again. At almost the exact same time, he was in the hallway again. This time, a shadow moved between him and the camera. Not a quick flash like a bug or dust. It was solid. And it blocked him completely for about 3 seconds. When the shadow passed, Milo was staring directly into the lens. And his mouth was still moving. By February, the smell was unbearable. It clung to him like it was coming from inside his body. I stopped letting him sleep in my room. One night, I woke up to find him standing on my bed. Not at the foot, right next to my head, facing the wall above me. I didn't move. I just lay there, listening to his slow breathing, trying to convince myself I was dreaming. The next morning, the smell in my room was so strong I could taste it. The breaking point came one Friday night. I woke up because something was whispering in my ear. It wasn't barking, and it wasn't a human voice. It was wet, garbled, distorted, like a cassette tape warping. The voice was right next to my ear. When I turned my head, Milo was there, standing over me, mouth moving in sharp, jerky motions. The stench hit me like a wave, metallic rot so strong it made me gag. I couldn't understand the words, but I knew he wasn't talking to me. The next night, I locked my bedroom door. He scratched at it gently for hours. When I checked the camera the next day, he'd been standing nose to wood the entire time. At 2:13 a.m., his head turned slightly toward the camera, and in the recording, I heard my own name whispered. Not through the mic. From him. 2 nights ago, it happened again. I was awake this time. 2:13 a.m. Nails dragging slowly on the wooden floor outside my room. The whispering again, clearer this time. Repeating my name over and over. Then, the doorknob turned. Slowly. Deliberately. I blacked out. Or maybe, something else happened. I don't remember. When I woke up, it was morning. Milo was in his crate, calm, wagging his tail, but he wouldn't let me touch him. If I got too close, he'd just stare. Unblinking. I've been staying with a friend for the last 2 days. The cameras are still running at my house. Last night, at 2:13 a.m., he looked directly into the lens and whispered, "Come back." I don't know what's wrong with Milo, but I'm not going back to that house. If you've ever seen your pet do something unnatural, don't ignore it, because whatever's inside them might be looking at you right now.